Good morning. How are you doing? Oh, good evening. I'm forgetting it's morning here in Australia. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. Please tell me if you're here so we can begin. I'm sorry, running a little bit late, a bit like 4 minutes late because I woke up late. So I'm really sorry for that. Just let me know if you're here, if you can hear me, if everything is okay, please let me know, and then we will begin. Tell me if you're ready there. Tell me if you can hear me properly, and then we can begin. Is the light okay? Is everything okay? Can you see me properly? And then we can begin. Thank you, Patricia, for joining in. Sorry for keeping you waiting for a couple of minutes. Thank you. Can hear you. Light is dim. It's at night here, and so I'm just trying to do with the light that I have here. I wish I had. Oh, Patricia is saying the light is too bright. I don't know how to set this better. Is that better? Okay. Might need to put this thing, adjust the position of my lighting. Okay, let me do the lighting stuff. Mimi sijazoea hizi vitu bana. Just trying to do whatever I can. I'm not trained in the stuff, so please bear with me. I'll have to set this lighting, so I'll put this thing like this. Is that better? Okay, iko sawa. Nani ananiambia hivyo? Thank you guys and welcome. Wacha tutaanza kuongea in a few. So here in Australia, it's 4 a.m. in the morning. So just to let you know, those who don't know, is that we are 8 hours ahead of East Africa time, of Kenyan time, or time in East Africa. So back at home in Kenya is 8 something a.m. in the evening, but here we are already on Saturday morning. Okay. So we are loud and clear. I see a few guys. Let me see who is there. Thank you very much for coming. Please let me know if you've joined. David, Felix, David, Anne, Patricia, thank you and welcome. Let's wait for like 5 more minutes and then we will begin. Maybe 5 more minutes and we will begin. So today we will be talking about cost of living in Australia. But before then, just start asking me any other questions to start with. And then when we get to 5 minutes, then we will begin the topic. But just any other random question if you have. Any other questions before we tackle the topic? We'll wait 5 more minutes. Ama, let me put it this way. Tell me where you are now, mkoaje bana? How are you doing? Here in Australia, it's starting to get cold. We are going into winter, so inaanza kukua baridi. At the moment, the temperature is about 14 degrees. So it's cold. Felix, you're in Homa Bay. Thank you very much, my brother. David, Nairobi, it's 8:12. Good, thank you very much, David. No, there is no amount, there is no restriction in how much you can bring back at home. So someone is asking if you want to invest back at home, are you restricted on amount you can transfer? No, there's no restriction. The restriction is the M-Pesa amount that you can put back if you're sending through M-Pesa, but that you can do it every day and send everything you have here, but that's up to you. There's no restriction at all. Are the caregiving jobs in Australia? Yes, there is. Yes, there is a lot, because here you see when people, they give a lot of, disability, people living with disability and the elderly people are really well taken care of. So there's lots of jobs in caregiving. The problem is really how to get here. Hiyo ndo inakuanga shida. So if you can get here, you can get those jobs. Thank you, Patricia in Nairobi, and good to hear from you. Elfas, you can hear from Nairobi loud and clear. Thank you very much. Okay, 2 more minutes and then we can begin. It's freezing here, man. It's cold. It's cold. And yes, these people prefer that you have a degree. So for skill assessment, okay, let me put it this, you're asking, someone said that you must have a first degree to get a job in Australia. Is this the case? So getting a job, if you're already here, getting a job in Australia is not an issue if you have the experience and just CPA. But your issue will be how to come here. So how to come here? If you watch most of my videos, I've said, if you're coming here through a skill assessment process, then you will need a degree. You will need at least 3 years of work experience, and you will need to be not more than 45 years when you're applying. So that's the case. But getting a job while you're already here, you will get a job. I'm a truck driver. I just want to know the possibility of working in Australia. Yes, David, you can get truck driving job in Australia, but how will you come? That's the problem. If you can come to Australia once you're here, you will definitely get a job. A driver says lots of driving jobs, even if it's not driving a truck. You might drive to do deliveries. You might drive. There's lots of driving jobs. So, okay. So, shall we begin the topic now? The topic today was about cost of living. Now, I have decided to do it to make it very simple. I'm not going to quote here interest rates and inflation and all that stuff. No one wants to hear those things. I just want to be real. I just want to show you very simple way explanation about the cost of living in Australia. Now, to begin with, cost of living is a problem everywhere. Okay? Whether you are in Africa, you are in Europe, America, and everywhere, cost of living at the moment is high. So it's not easy anywhere. It's not easy in Australia. It's not easy anywhere. But I just want to give you, through illustration, example, and then you can judge for yourself whether it is high, it's better here, or better at home. Okay? So is that okay? My approach is going to be very simple. I'm not going to use economics jargons and finance and all that stuff, and not assuming that everyone understands that. So that's the approach I'm going to take. If that's okay with you, give me a thumbs up, and then I will begin. Okay. There are only 4 people here now. Anyway, we will start anyway. So, and then after that, you can ask me any other questions, okay? We'll be very brief in the story of cost of living. Now, to start with, here in Australia, we have something called the minimum wage rate, okay? This is the legal, when you're working anywhere, you should be paid that amount, okay? So it's the minimum wage, which is at the moment $21.38. Okay, so that's $21.38 per hour. That's the minimum wage rate here at the moment. Now, you can convert that in your local currency wherever you are. If you're in Kenya, $1 is equal to 80 shillings currently. So $1 Australian is 80 shillings at the moment. So if you convert that, you will get, I don't have a calculator here, but someone tell me how much that is. So that's a minimum wage, okay? So if you were to work an average, people work here every day 8 hours, or say 7 hours, 7.5 hours a day. So if you to work the maximum 8 hours a day for 5 days, that's 40 hours. 40 hours. If you multiply by that rate, in a week, you get something like 800, maybe take away $800. Okay. So if you're getting $800 a week, okay, I must say here, let's work with weekly. Let's work weekly because most of the people are paid weekly or fortnight, and then the bills are paid like weekly. There's nothing like a month. Okay, there are workers who pay monthly, but there are few here. But bills come like every week. Okay, especially rent. We pay rent here every week. Okay, so let's work with weekly budget. So if you're to earn the minimum of $800 a week, if you work full time, then the thing that takes a lot of money here, or people's money here, is the rentals. If you're renting a house, a decent house here, the average would be, maybe if you're talking about 2-bedroom house, the least you can pay is around $350 a week. Okay, so $350 a week. The reason is here there is no slums. Okay, the problem or the good thing is there are no slums. So all the houses are like standard. There's a standard level in every estate or suburb. There is just a standard of housing. So you can't get just very cheap housing. Okay, all the houses are just around that much. So let's say you're working with the least and pay $350 a week. Now from your 800, you only left with $450. Okay, so this $450 is what you will use to buy your groceries, and you will use to pay your bills. And if you have kids and you would like to take them to a private school, then you will have to use that money to pay for the school fees. But school fees here, public schools are free, so you don't have to use any of that. So assuming you're paying your bills and buy groceries and everything, and use maybe $300, you'll only have like $150 saved every week. And in a month, say you will only save 150 times 4, that's only like $600 a month if you're saving. So you can see where we're coming from. Here, the big killer is the accommodation, the rentals. The cost of food here is high, but it depends where you're shopping. You can do selective shopping. There are grocery stores that are a little cheaper. The most expensive things here are the healthy stuff. There are things that when I came here shocked me because they are very cheap here, because here people regard them as unhealthy. Like the soft drinks is the cheapest thing here. You know, a big bottle of Coca-Cola or soft drinks is like $1. They're cheap things here. You know, sugar is cheap here also. Sugar, wheat flour, what else? Things like cooking oil is slightly cheap. I know in other countries it's very expensive, but it's slightly cheap here. You can get about I think it's 3 liters of cooking oil for about $4 or $5. Okay, which is about 400, is it? 400 shillings. So it's slightly cheap here. So basic commodities like that, like salt, sugar, flour, rice, oil, those are a little cheaper here. So the expensive things are now the farm producers and all that stuff. So shopping, you can know how to manage, but the big killer here is the rentals. Okay, fuel at the moment is 1 liter is going for about $1.60 here, so you can do your maths and compare with at home. So 1 liter is going for $1.60 around there at the moment. And yeah, so the big killer here is the rentals and the bills. So for example, where I live, it's either you're warming the house when it's winter, and which use a lot of power, okay, or gas, or you are cooling it when it's summer. So the bills are very high. You can use up to around 1,000 or 2,000 every year. You can use about $2,000 every year. What else? Yeah, so the thing here is you survive on how you making your budget. So for example here, to mitigate this high cost of rentals and bills, you'll have to do a few adjustments. One, you can choose not to take your kids to private school. And then two, you can also if you're a couple, then it becomes better now because one person wages, now you double your wages, now you can manage. But the most thing people do here, that's why you have to, or people do more than 2 jobs. Okay, you might have your full-time job, and then you have another job that you might do a few hours over the weekend or a few hours in the evening or something like that. The reason why people have 2 jobs is not because they are hungry for money in the diaspora. The reason why people have 2 jobs is you want to save, you have some commitments at home, back at home, you're helping your people at home and things like that. I've just shown you, if you're working, it's difficult to save. You might find, even that 150 I was saying, 150 savings per week, you might not save it because you have commitments, you have people, you want to help, you want to do this and that, and you might not be able to save. So to do that, you will have to get an extra job. That's why people have more than 1 job. Some people even have 3. Okay. So that comes with now the pressure, are you resting enough? So you start having health issues. Are you having enough time to rest? So that's why people in the diaspora work a lot. They work a lot, okay, to be able to pay their bills and have something else to save and to help other people, okay? But if it's a couple, then you can manage. And now when you also have a family, you'll have to also plan, because if you have kids, then kids cannot stay alone in the house while you go to work. So you either only work when they're in school, and then someone has to be at home when they come, when you go pick them from school and things like that. So you have to do a very good balance. That's why people love shift works, shift jobs, because you can manage yourself very well. But 8 to 5 job restricts people. So if both of you are working from 8 to 5, who will drop the kids to school? Who will pick them at 3 o'clock? Because school ends at 3, around 3:30. Who picks them up? things like that. You have to really manage between the two of you and manage your finances well as a family. So that's a challenge. So the reason why people have more than two jobs is because of that. Rent is very high. Food is high, yes, but you can manage things like bills. Bills is a big deal. You're either paying to heat the house or cool the house, okay, and the gas and all that stuff, okay, and paying water as well. So bills and then internet, if you're on internet, things like that. So you can see for yourself. If you have a specific question on cost of living, please let me know. But that's what happens. So let me take questions. So I'm not going to tackle big stuff on cost of living. But that's what happens. So if you're lucky to get a good job with a good pay rate, that's a big factor. So most of the jobs are around $30 to $40, most casual jobs. So you can see it makes your work a little bit easier, but still you have to manage, choose where you're living. Most of the houses now, 4 bedrooms are going for about 450 and things like that. So please let me take specific questions around the cost of living. You're asking, and you're asking, let me see that question again. You're asking, how are the medical facilities? Very good. If you're a permanent resident or a citizen, then you have something called Medicare. You're on Medicare, so your medication is free. Your consultation is free. You just only need to buy medication, which is not really much expensive. So your consultation, whenever you go to see a doctor, that's free. Okay, you only need to buy medication. Let me have a look at another one. Someone is saying, can one acquire parcel land at home there? Yes, buying a house is the best option. You can buy land. You'll just have to have a bit of saving, about 10% of the cost of the house you want to buy, about 10%. So most of the houses, cheapest one probably would go, land and building the house will go for $500,000. So you'll have to save around $50,000 to pay the deposit, and then you can get loan from the bank, and then get your house built, and you go in there. So yes, you can build your own house. Any other question? I said I will be very brief. So let me take the questions and then we can end it there. Please tell me, did I answer the questions that you had about the cost of living? I just feel like I was talking to myself. Any question? Any other question apart from even the cost of living? If you have any other question you wanted to ask besides that. The information is clear. Thank you very much, Patricia, for that feedback. Is there anyone joining late? By the way, Appa, timing is really, really key. If you tell someone you are meeting at 4, it is 4 on the dot. Someone will leave after 2 minutes. So pole sana wale wana join late bana. I just came. Can I migrate without proof of funds for PR? For permanent residents, there is not much about proof of funds for permanent residents. Yes, you will be asked to state, your net worth or how much you're having, but it's not really a big deal for permanent residents. I don't know why you're bringing that. But for permanent residents, Lawrence, what you need to prove is your qualification. Do you have a degree in your line? Do you have a qualification that Australia needs? Do you have more than 3 years of work experience after your graduation? And are you 45 years or below? That's all you need to prove for permanent residents. So, Patricia, how to get a visa? What kind of visa? So for permanent residents, that's how to get a visa. Briefly, for permanent residents, Patricia, you need to go to the list of skill shortage. Check your skill there. If you're, for example, an accountant, check there. Do they need accountants or auditors? If yes, then check your eligibility. You will put some key information there, and then are you qualified? Do you have a degree in that line? Do you have more than 3 years of work experience? Are you 45 years below? Then you can go to the next level of getting your skill assessed. Please, if you I will share a video that I have done on that clearly. So Patricia, you can go and watch that. I've done a very brief, detailed but compact, short but very compact information about how to get a visa. So please, it's better, Patricia, you can go and watch that video. It makes it very clear. I make a video on cheap colleges and yes, Cleophas. I was going to do that. That's my next level, because I've realized most of people would want to come here as students. Actually, let me shock you. About 80% of people from the diaspora who have settled in Australia came here as students. So coming here as students, very, very, very important. So I will do cheap colleges, some courses and cheap colleges to come, and I'll do that probably the next video. With a diploma and as a software developer. Lawrence, just to be honest with you, they will prefer a degree. So if you don't have a degree, it's probably consider coming as a student. That's just my experience. You could have another way, but that's what an agent told me. So I have an agent that I talk to, and they always tell me a degree is important. Please tell us if someone comes on another visa, can you convert to student? If you come on another visa, so what kind of visa? Talking about visitors visa. If you come on a visitors visa is you will have to apply again and get admission, and I am not too sure whether you will have to come back, go back to your country and come back. But it's no point of coming here as visitors visa while you know that you will convert to a student. You rather just apply as a student and come once and sort everything, because visitors visa, you will not work. You will have to prove that you have funds. You will have to get a a return ticket and all that. So there's no point of coming as a student and then coming as a visitor and converting later on. Any other question, guys? Any other question? Any other question? Thank you very much, Patricia. Yes, I will do more videos on students' visa and different colleges, and I might even walk into those colleges and show you a live, or some videos while I'm in the colleges, so that you get an experience. So I will do that really, really soon. And guys, I promise you, please, if you take me to 2,500 subscription, there is something that I want to do. I won't tell you until we get to 2,500. So please, if you haven't subscribed, do that. Tell other people about it. It's going to be a big thing. So please, that is going to be good. So let's get to 2,500 really quick, and then I can tell you what that plan is. Don't leave, guys, before liking the video. Don't leave before you like the video, please. Yeah, the next video should be cheap universities, and try to break down the costing, like fees, travel, accommodation. Yes, I will do that. You know that my video, I don't like being so complicated. I give you the real thing, so I break it down for you. I'll do that. So Mozilla, how much money can I have to be allowed to start truck business? Well, truck business here, and when you're already here, starting a business here, you can start by just buying a truck, so long as you will not restricted. It's really up to you. So just work, save money, buy a truck, and start your business. So there is nothing like restrictions here. Actually, they will support you to start a business because they want to boost the economy. So I have mentioned before, I did a business, food van business. It's one of my videos, so you can go and check that. I just laid the process there for you. It's not very hard to start a business here. Guys, let's like the video. Let's like the video if you leave. If you leave, please don't leave before you like the video. You talked about realistic figures on cost of living. Thank you. Thank you very much, Patricia. Yeah, just working on the figures. I don't want to give you inflation. It's nothing inflation and rate of bank rates are going to help you with at the moment. You just need to know what you're going to earn, how you will spend the money, and that's it. Okay? So what people do here is if you come here as a couple, you get to organize yourself, how people will work and how you will take care of your kids, because the kids can't stay alone at home when they are still young. When they're still under 13, they must have somebody at home. So you just work around that and work together. But otherwise, that's what you expect to earn. That's why people get more than 2 jobs. As I said, people work here really, really hard, but it's a balancing act. So yeah, it's a balancing act. Any other question, guys? Even apart from the cost of living, what we have spoken about, if you have any other question, please let me answer in the next 10 minutes, and then I will be going back to bed. I will be going to sleep. Well, it's already 5 5 o'clock. It's Saturday morning here. Questions bana, maswali. Any other question? I was a teacher at some point in Kenya. I taught kidogo. So when students don't ask questions, there are two possibilities. Either they got everything you taught or they have not had nothing. So I want to assume that I was that clear, I was that good in my presentation. Lawrence, I heard when it's summer, it's really hot. That is how many months? Okay, so in Australia, it depends where you are. So if you live in Queensland, there are 7 states. So if you live in Queensland, which is the northern part of no, if you live in Queensland and Northern Territory, which is the northern part of Australia, it's equally like warm throughout the year. But the hot season is in summer, which is usually around end of November, December, January, February, around 4 months, 4 to 5 months. But in Queensland, the rest of the year, it's beautiful because it's just like Kenyan weather. You don't need any aircon, you don't need any heater for the rest of the year. Just the four months of summer is really hot, so you need aircon. But if you live in the lower part of Australia, especially in Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales, and in Adelaide, so lower part of it, it's either hot or cold. So 4 months of heat and then a few months of no aircon, like just a few months, like 2-3 months, but the rest of the month is cold winter. So like Victoria where I live, it's about 4 months of heat and about 4 months of very cold, and then the rest of the month is fairly good. But if you live in Perth, that's Western Australia, the weather is also more like Kenya because it's actually close to the western part. So weather is slightly better. I hope I've answered your question, Lawrence. Guys, wale bado wako, like before you leave, like the video. And if you have any question, I will tackle them in the next 5 minutes. I will be gone. Any question? Any other question? Maswali kwa mwalimu. What time is it now? So the income tax, so tax is fairly okay. If you are a student, when you work, you actually get your tax refunded. Most of it will be refunded to you. So the tax here is really they check your level of income and and your family income. So, for example, if you only have one person working for the family, then you're actually going to be taxed really, really less. And the government is probably will assume the other person will have worked, so they will pay the other person some money if you're permanent residents. Okay, so income tax is really fair here. They check how many you are in your family, what's how much you're supposed to have as a minimum income for your family. If you don't get to that level, then they will top you up. They will pay the other partner, or they will pay the family something called tax benefit, so that the family has something to spend. So tax income is fairly good here. So so as a student, for example, if you are as a student here, if you are working to pay fees, you will still be taxed, but most of the time the tax will be refunded to you because they consider you're paying fees, you're not a resident, like you're not a permanent resident here. So the tax will be really easy on you. So that's why most students are able to come, settle down, work, pay their school fees, and also keep themselves here. So you can get jobs. The cost of living here for students is because of that minimum work hours for students. You will have to plan yourself really well to do work, to get shift works when you're not in class, and be able also to raise enough funds to pay your school fees. So you have to really plan yourself. That's why students get shared accommodations. You don't want to go and rent out a big house which you can't pay, and you're also still struggling to pay fees. So you get a shared accommodation, which is a good arrangement. It's not nothing wrong with that. And then you can be able to raise funds so that you minimize on. Remember, I say the big killer here is rental. So if you can minimize the much you can minimize on rent expense, then you can manage. All right, guys. Any other question? Anna, I hope I've answered your question about income tax. Any other question? Swali? Okay, guys. Yeah, so that's all. I think I need to stop there. As I said, please, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Tell other people to subscribe. If we get to 2,500, is something I really want us to do. When we get to 2,500, it will be interesting, but I can't tell you until we get to 2,500 subscription. So please do that. Also like this video, and then yeah, let's see how we go. As I promise you, someone has asked me to do a video on schools, on colleges, cheap courses, and details about the fees and all that, I will do that video soon. And then, yeah. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in and asking questions and engaging. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I'll leave you to enjoy your evening. Most of the people who are watching are from Kenya, so na appreciate sana, asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Have a nice weekend. Sisi tumeshaanza weekend hapa, ni Saturday morning, and then have a lovely and a blessed weekend, guys. Thank you, much appreciated, Patricia. Like the video before you leave, guys. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye. My name is Barnabas, the son of encouragement. Bye-bye. Oh, a late one from Daisy. How do people juggle up school and work? All that fees, is it manageable? Yes, it is manageable. I mentioned that about 80% of 80% of people who are permanent residents here now in Australia, who have come from overseas, were students. So it's the popular way of migrating because it's easier to process a visa. So it's manageable. You just need to organize yourself, get a cheap accommodation. Please don't come and just go to a big house. Get a cheap accommodation and yes, manage. Just get in and get other students who have made it. They will tell you how to do it. They will tell you how to manage, how to get jobs, and how to manage your schoolwork and work. Yes, Daisy, it is manageable. People are joining late now when we are just about to leave. Anybody with a quick question before I sign off? Okay, there is no more questions. So, okay, Daisy. I have shared this live on a WhatsApp group of students who wish to come to Australia. Unfortunately, I found when you're getting it done. Maybe next time. Yeah, next time. Thanks, Daisy. Yeah, maybe next time. I will plan to do a more video live videos on that. And Daisy, please keep an eye on my notifications for live chats. I might do that for you guys later on for students, okay? Sorry about that, Daisy. I have to go now. But yes, we will do another one for students. Promise. All right. Thank you, guys. Please like the video before you go. All right. Bye-bye. Barnabas here, signing out. Thank you for watching.